All right, guys, welcome back to another video. So here we go with the battle that some people requested that I actually was interested in, the MotoZPlay versus the ZTE Blade V8 Pro. So this is an interesting one. Now, first thing I want to point out that these are in different price brackets, so keep that in mind. These are both considered budget devices by a lot of people, but they both can rival certain high-end phones. So just starting off, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to start with the price just so you know, because I don't want this to be too lengthy of a video. But this phone costs $450 max unlocked, and this phone costs $229 maxed out unlocked. So starting with that alone, the ZTE Blade V8 Pro wins in that category. You can find this one at discounted prices sometimes, but don't look for a lot of discounts on this one because this one is doing very well at that higher price point. People are buying this phone right here. You can find it at $408 on Verizon version, which is the Droid version. You get a couple of different colors, but still you get another color, but it's still unlocked, GSM unlocked. So right off the top, Blade V8 Pro wins the price battle. That's a no-brainer. It costs less. Now, let's jump to the design and the build quality. Now, the design of the Blade V8 Pro is something that has been in question by a lot of people. Some people just don't like it. I personally love it. You've got this grippy, rubbery back on here, so you don't really need a case if you don't want to put a case on there. And I do keep this in a case pretty much when I leave the house with it, but around the house, it does not need a case. It's super grippy. You have this metal chamfered edges all around. It's very sexy, a very sleek device. It is just a nice phone to feel in the hand. And you've got a front reader, fingerprint reader on there on the front. And you've got your power button and volume over here. No texture or anything on those, pretty smooth. We got a headphone jack on the top and a noise cancellation microphone there. You got a speaker on the bottom and USB Type-C and a microphone to cut out there. Then you've got those dual 13 megapixel cameras on the back. And along the front here, you've got a 5.5 inch 1080p display. Very beautiful display. It's a good display. It's super nice. It's got these 2.5D curved glass on the front. So that makes this phone very, very attractive. Now, switching gears to the MotoZPlay, the MotoZPlay in build quality and design definitely wins this battle. Now, as much as I like the way this feels in hand, this feels a lot better in the hand than the MotoZPlay, but that's probably about where it stops. The reason this one wins alone because it has Moto mods. You can pop this off, you can put on different attachments there. I've got a nice wooden back here on there. You've got the camera cutout on the back right there. You've got USB Type-C as well, and you have a bottom mounted headphone jack, which is what I love. SD card slot up top. This has an SD card slot as well, and this is also dual SIM. But you've definitely got an SD card on both. Along the front, you've got a fingerprint reader, which is a lot faster than the fingerprint reader on the Blade V8 Pro. It's a lot faster. You can even lock the phone with the fingerprint reader. It is just a fast fingerprint reader. I mean, it is fast. And then you've got the LED flash on the front of this one as well, and no LED flash on the front of the Blade V8 Pro. You've got your on-screen buttons, which is fine with me. This actually has a ridged power button, so I can tell the difference in what I'm actually pressing here and without looking at the phone. So huge plus there. You know, just the Moto mods alone make the ZPlay a much more attractive device for consumers. Now, screens on both of these are really nice. The screen on the Blade V8 Pro is a 1080p IPS display, and the screen on the Z Play is actually a Super AMOLED 1080p display. So if you know anything about me, you know that I really enjoy Super AMOLED displays, and I will always pick them pretty much over any phone that doesn't have one. And my Galaxy J7 has a 720p Super AMOLED display, and it too is better than the Blade V8 Pro's display. Now, displays on here, both 5.5 inches, but hands down, the MotoZPlay definitely takes this. So moving along to speaker quality. Now here's another place where the MotoZPlay definitely wins this one hands down. Again, you have that attachment that you can pop on the back for a JBL speaker to enhance it all the way around. But not even doing so, this has a front firing speaker on here, so it's going to sound a heck of a lot better than the weaker bottom firing speaker on the Blade V8 Pro. So this is where these phones kind of are the same, but the Z-Max, I'm thinking about the Z-Max Pro. The MotoZPlay has a full stock experience pretty much, and the Blade V8 Pro has a stock experience as well. So I kind of call this one, I guess I can call it a tie because they both offer a stock feel. Even though this is pretty much closer to stock with nothing on it but just one Moto item. They're both stock, so I'll call that a tie, pretty much. This does have the Me Favor, and you can switch back and forth between the two, but I don't know very many people that actually leave their phone with the Me Favor UI, so I'll call that one a tie. Camera quality on here, let's take a look right now. Okay guys, here is the MotoZPlay and the also famous ZTE Blade V8 Pro. Now I'm holding these at a different angle this time because I want to try to get them both side by side so I can pan at the same time so you can kind of see. These are both shooting in 4K, and this is just a quick video sample. Now I can't do a zoom. You'd be amazed how I'm holding these side by side, but I'll try to get it as good as possible for you guys. I might be covering up microphones. I don't know. I'll see after the fact. But here's a 4K sample from both. And from what I can see in the viewfinder, you know, the MotoZPlay is just amazing. This camera is ridiculously good. But you're definitely paying a little bit more if you go with the MotoZPlay for that great camera. Just panning it just a little bit here. Give you a pretty good sample, catch some cars going by. And let's walk down here. Beautiful sunny day. All right. Good. Okay, so there you have it, camera quality. I feel like the MotoZPlay has a much better camera on the back. Now the Blade V8 Pro does have some, the bokeh effect. It has a few more features in there, but real world testing, a lot of people don't go into that. They just take photos and videos with their phone. And, you know, that's just what it is. I think the MotoZPlay has a much better camera experience, all hands down. So, battery on these phones are pretty close, but in my usage, the Z-Play is worlds. No, I shouldn't say that's too. I'm being a little too dramatic. It's a little bit better in my usage than the Blade V8 Pro. I can pull down for sure 8 hours on this one right here, but as you can see, I'm almost out of a charge here. So let me show you real world right here. This has been off the charger since the other day. Okay, there you go. So you see I haven't had it on. Let me click on this just to show you that it has not been on the charger. Look there. You can see I'm at a steady decline. This is when I was sleeping. Now let's look at how much screen on time this has. This has almost 11 hours of screen on time. That's just amazing. 10 hours and 58 minutes and counting on a single charge. So someone asked me, and I'll definitely, this has 7% left, so I got to hurry with this video. But someone asked me, can you make it through 2 days with this phone? You definitely can. I'm guaranteed 10 hours of screen on time every time with this phone. And I'm guaranteed 8 hours or 8.5 with this phone. So either one of those, you cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong. Both of these have powerhouse batteries. Processing power in these, they're both running the Snapdragon 625. They both have 32 gigs of RAM. They both have 32 gigs of ROM. They both have 3 gigs of RAM. But the difference is this phone has adaptive storage, which means I can put an SD card in here and bump this phone all up internally to a 200 and some odd gig phone with no problems. So this phone definitely wins in that category. But battery life, I'm going to give it also to the Play, because the Play, and I can also slap on a battery mod on here and get 14 to 15 hours of screen on time plus. So battery life on here definitely goes to the Z Play. The V8 Pro is definitely no slouch. I mean, some people are getting, Alpha says he got the same kind of battery life that I'm getting on the Z Play with this one. So it depends on the user. It depends on what you're doing with your phone. So battery life definitely is a win over here. I'll definitely peak on this one. This battery life is crazy, man. There it is, just past 11 hours of screen on time. Crazy, right? Oh man, that's just amazing. But again, you know, it's a matter of what you're doing with your phone. So you know, performance on these things, again, they pretty much have the same internals. And to me, they're both fast. You know, so I could call that even. I guess I wanted to say. I'm running, yeah, I need to cut this video. But overall performance, definitely it's about the same. Now price point, I've already touched on that. The Blade V8 Pro wins. Out of these two phones though, you know, if I had to tell a person to pick one, if you're a software head, you know, you like stock, like real stock, you definitely want to go with the Play, but you're going to pay a more premium price, $200, basically double the cost of this almost. So keep that in mind. But of these two phones, I like them both. You know, blessed to have them both in-house. But definitely the Z Play definitely edges it out in a lot of categories. So, but keep in mind that if you do pick this up, you're going to pay the premium price, because when you're trying to shop for a device, you've got to kind of keep in mind that, you know, it's up to what you want. Of these two devices here, they are both considered supposed to be mid-range phones, but there's no denying that this phone right here has just fantastic hardware, software, cameras, battery life, performance. There's a lot. This phone has it too. It just doesn't edge out this phone. But the smarter choice, if I was going to tell someone to buy one of these, I would go ahead and tell them to get the Blade V8 Pro, because it costs half the cost of this phone, even though it has pretty much the same internals. You know, you are getting some better things on the Z Play than the Blade V8 Pro. But you know, it's a matter of you're going to pay almost that premium cost, because I've already matched this phone against my Axon 7. You know, the Axon 7 is considered to be a high-end device, so to speak. It's considered to be this, you know, flagship, and that is this is ZTE's flagship right now. This is a flagship phone. I don't know why people think that it's not. It's got a Quad HD display. It's got all the, as far as the tech world goes, if you don't have a Quad HD display, some people feel like that's not a high-end device. But when people talk about the OnePlus 3 and the OnePlus 3T, they say, oh, yeah, it's a high-end device. Okay, so then the processor is another thing. You got to have the latest processor. You got to have a Quad HD display. Pretty much that's all everyone's saying a high-end device is. Or what else could it be? Like, all you got is a high-end specs in here to make this a flagship. But realistically, you know, this could be considered a flagship in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I feel like this can be considered a flagship for sure. So, of these two devices, you know, the smart buy is definitely the Blade V8 Pro. You're safe. You get a safe bet on here. While the cameras are nowhere near as impressive as the Moto Z, you know, for what a person might be doing with the phone, these cameras might be enough. So that's up to you. It has to be up to you. But you're getting a heck of a lot more for that $200. in my experience. You know, the Moto mods alone, yeah, they cost you, but they give you this one free in the box here, and it just makes the phone look different. It's just a beautiful device. So I got to get this bad boy on the charger. I worked it. I'm on day 2 with this thing. So this battery is killer. But there you have it, folks. Blade V8 Pro and Motorola Lenovo MotoZPlay. There's a battle. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.